Oh, Central offered me a scholarship.
HBCU, that's where you smack the grandma, right?
No.
Oh, okay, my fault. That's
No.
You smacked the grandma.
No, it's the wrong guy, bro.
Oh, wrong guy. My fault, bro. My
Smacked
fault.
the grandma. What?
My fault, bro. I'm sorry,
The
bro.
wrong guy,
Forget
bro.
that.
Like,
I'm gonna bleep that out. My fault.
But anyways,
So Central offers you a scholarship, is that what you said?
yeah, it ended
That's
up
awesome, man.
that ended up happening.
That's
So
awesome.
honestly, my bad, bro. I'm kind of it gets fuzzy, bro. Like, but I auditioned for Central.
Everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Twiffy Podcast. I'm your host, Terrence Greer, joined today by two incredible artists. I got my main man, Collin Williams, and Donovan Cheatham. Collin, you are a saxophonist,
Yes.
a producer, an instructor, all things woodwind.
All things woodwind, yes.
I got my main man, Donovan. You are a drummer, a conductor, an instructor, a percussionist. Ladies, man.
Stop. Just stop. You were going down the checklist, and then you ran into a big X.
Okay, my fault. I added that. Sorry about that, everyone. I've known Donovan since middle school. It's probably one of my best friends, man. Stopped in North Carolina, so I had to get him on the show, man. I guess how you guys doing today, man?
Pretty good, you know. It's my birthday today, so I am
Happy
doing
birthday
pretty good.
to you.
I'm blessed to see 29, you know, and I'm just excited to be living, you know, on this journey.
See, if I'm not mistaken, you were born in Hampton, Virginia, but moved to North Carolina at some point.
Well, a little bit of my childhood was spent in Hampton, Virginia, and then I think around I was 8 years old, I was moved to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay. I'm curious, man. Tell me about your childhood in Hampton, man. What was that like?
It was real cool. You know, I remember riding bikes to the beach when I was younger. You know, that was a real fun thing. I feel like on the weekends we used to just be like, we go and ride bikes. And then we just ride bikes to our little special path to the beach.
Yeah, a little biker gang or what?
No, not no little bike gang. I didn't have too many friends like that. I spent a lot of time with my brothers. So that was a cool time, you know. And I don't know, just enjoying that scenery out there. And, you know, I was there till I was 8, so you know, didn't get a lot of time to build a whole lot there. But what I do remember was very nice.
Okay, bro. Let me ask you this, man. How important was music in your childhood, man?
Oh, music was very important. Like all the time around my house. Like we walk around making noise. There's just always some noise going on around.
Everybody in your peoples, they dabble.
Yeah, my dad sings, my mom sings, my dad plays a little bit of keys, my mom plays keys for real. And, you know, all my brothers, they play instruments. I got an older brother, a younger brother, you know, and we all used to sing together, harmonize as a family, you know, going to church, you know, Sunday mornings, you know, singing together, doing all kind of stuff. So jamming together as a family, as a band. So yeah, that was my first introduction to music and musical experiences, and you know, sharing that with other people.
All right, I definitely understand that, man. I definitely do. Yeah. And so, Donovan, you were born in California, right?
Culver City, Los Angeles.
Culver City, Los Angeles, man. So, man, I've only visited like Disney World, man. Tell me, man, what was your childhood like? You know, growing up in LA, man.
Yes, so yeah, Culver City is a sector in Los Angeles, and I mean, dude, honestly, I grew up on this street called Van Buren, and behind, like, our backyard was like a place where they did a lot of filming. It's like a studio type of thing, so it wasn't quite like, you know, like gang active. You know, I wasn't really around that, you know, but I was kind of like, you know, growing up in that part of,
I understand.
yeah.
Like in the 90s, right?
You said what?
You said in the 90s, right? Born in...
Yeah, like the 90s, you know. So, yeah, one thing I remember is like every Friday, bro, my dad used to take us to like Toys R Us.
Okay.
And then he used to cook cheese shells and crab legs.
That's awesome,
like
bro.
Every Friday, it was awesome.
That's so cool, man. That's one of the childhood memories,
Yeah, that was pretty serious, yeah. It's pretty serious.
I did listen. I remember every Friday my family would go out and get some fast food and like watch movies, bro.
Yeah.
That's one from my childhood. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Yeah.
fast food was a treat back then.
Bro, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Dude.
People I would be like, yo, we about to go to McDonald's,
Hey,
bro.
hey.
We'd be like, yo, that's something we don't never get.
Okay, you already know,
McDonald's,
bro.
You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
bro.
you know, you gotta, nowadays, you gotta get off that.
Budget meal. My mom used to say budget meal a lot.
Budget meal.
Yeah.
Meaning what?
Like you get a meal on budget, bro.
Okay.
Like a $5 meal.
Mm.
You know.
Y'all struggling to come or what?
I mean, nah, she was just like, you know,
Trying to
budget.
save money? I
Yeah.
understand, bro.
And, you know, my mom, she owned a salon in LA.
That's why I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And so, you know, she had that business popping, but she was still like, you know, budget and stuff.
Okay.
You know.
I'm curious. Hey, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would be amazing for the channel. Let's get back to the video.
You know.
I'm curious, man. How important was music, you know, in your childhood, man?
Yeah, man, it was pretty, I don't know, bro. Like, nobody in my family was really, like, playing instruments like that. Like, there was no, like, musicians. So it's like, you know, I like beats. I remember, like, another memory is, like, you know, my dad had a Trooper. It's like a type of truck. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Isuzu? Is that how you say that?
Isuzu.
Isuzu. Isuzu.
Yeah.
Isuzu
You had a
Trooper.
system in it or what?
Yeah, bro. He had a system in it, bro. And it was like, you know,
It has some thump in it?
yeah, that thump, you know, Dr. Dre,
Yeah, West Coast.
you know, just like the West Coast stuff, you
that's
know.
what you grew up
It's
on.
like, yeah, that's like really what I know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that was like a very important, like audible upbringing that I remember. It's just like, you know, just G-funk beats, you know.
Let me ask you this, man. I guess how did growing up on the West Coast music, how did that influence your, I guess who you are now as a drummer, as a percussionist? How did that influence you?
I don't know, bro. It's interesting because
Very good question. That's interesting.
it
Very
is
interesting.
because now I'm like reverting back to like listening to all that stuff that I indirectly heard, you know, through my father and shit.
right,
You know,
right.
like I don't know. I brought like an East Siders record the other day,
yeah.
like just because I was like, yo, this is that shit.
Okay.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's just like the sound. And I feel like, you know, when I play, you know, certain styles, bro, it comes out for sure. You know, and some of the stuff we do, it kind of has that feel to it.
And what do you mean, like what kind of feel?
You know, like a G-funk feel, you know, like kind of like funky, like kind of Parliament Funkadelic kind of shit.
Yeah.
Mixed with like, you know, like,
Real heavy 2 and 4.
yeah, real heavy 2 and 4.
Okay.
Downbeats.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
smacking. It's got
Yeah.
you know real slapping beats, old school.
But it got
you
the
know.
lag to it.
Yeah, but it's got the lag to
And
it.
it always
So-
has something that's really locked. Like
you guys saying a lot of words I don't understand. But I understand. I feel it, bro.
like things that are consistent
Okay.
in the music.
Okay.
You know how you can
It's slapping. It's got that.
yeah, you know how you listen to something you can always expect to hear it again?
Okay, right.
You can recognize a pattern.
Exactly.
Something audibly recognizable.
I understand that.
You know?
Okay.
It has a lot of that in it. So
Okay.
it's easy to like get into.
So it's music.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Mhm.
Colin.
Yeah.
What you, man? Tell me, I guess, what were some of your favorite artists growing up, man?
Some of my favorite artists growing up. I listened to, you know, I was a church boy growing up. I used to listen to a lot of gospel music. You know, the general, the standards. You know, you got
Kurt Franklin.
Kurt, you got your Kurt Franklin. You know, I really love Marvin Winans. You know, I just all the real staples of the black community.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of music. You know, on the secular side, you got the feel good music. You got the music Soul Child. He was real heavy. Like,
Yeah, that's all my dad played, bro. I
Yep.
remember that.
you know, you got
Just listen.
yeah, all those albums, man. Me and my homies, like back in high school, we would just listen to the music Soul Child records.
Okay,
And
so you was smooth back then.
oh yeah, I was a little nerdy, but I was
Okay. You listened
towards
to Soul
high school.
Child,
Yeah, Soul Child. You know, I was into it. I was real into
Okay.
the singing aspect of music, the vocal part, but I couldn't do it.
Okay,
So you know what I'm saying. So I would transfer that to my instrument. Like I could do it through the saxophone. So that's how that kind of influenced my approach to the saxophone
Okay.
playing. You know,
So yeah, so you couldn't sing, so you said not gonna
yeah,
sing.
I couldn't
but
really, I couldn't really sing like that.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get nice on the saxophone,
Yeah.
mimicking the human voice.
So let me ask you this, man. I guess you started doing band. Is that how you got into saxophone, or like was that even you got into?
It's real funny how I got into the saxophone. Actually, it was.
What made you pick the sax? Yeah.
I remember I was in the 5th grade.
They probably gave it to him, bro.
I was in the 5th grade, and my teacher and my band teacher, the music teacher at the school, like came to the classroom and was like, "Okay, so you guys gotta pick instruments. We're about to start bands." And I'm like, "What is band? Like, what we about to be doing in there?" Like, that's how I'm into music, and like, you know, music was already going on in my house. So, I think like the next day they had like all the instruments up there, and they had us looking at them, and I seen all.
Like Pokemon, like just go. Pick
Yeah, like pretty much, you know, you got to pick Charmander, Squirtle. So I was looking at all the joints. I'm like, man, all these look real cool. I was looking at the trumpet, like that looks, you know, if you a kid, you want to pick whatever looks easiest, and the trumpet looked the easiest.
Okay. Three buttons, right? Three.
But it's definitely not the easiest. I didn't pick that, and I'm glad I didn't pick that one. I ended up picking saxophone because that night I went home. I didn't pick nothing that day. I went home that night.
He thought on it. Think about it.
And my older brother actually was like, because he was already in band. He was already nice with music. I really respected my older brother as a musician, you know. He was like, you should play this.
What's his name, man? Charlotte.
My older brother's name is Mark Williams. He lives in Charlotte now.
Oh, Mark. Well,
Awesome, bro.
But yeah, he just, he was like, you should play this one that looked like this. It looked like kind of like a J.
Okay.
I was like, he was like, it's a saxophone. Or he was like, you should play the saxophone. I was like, what is the saxophone? He was like, that one that looks like this.
Okay.
You know, I was like, oh, I know what you're talking about. I seen that joint.
Okay.
So, you know, that's how I ended up playing that. And ever since I started playing, I don't know why. I just kept playing. I just enjoyed to play it. I don't even know why. You know, it's just one of those things.
I imagine, man, you know, you grew up in that household, man, so, you know, you were all around music and everything. That had to have a big impact on you, bro.
Yeah, it was, heavy impact, you know. Like I said, like my family and my upbringing was really about vocals and really about singing and being able to participate in music from whatever aspect you're coming from. Like if you can't sing, still be able to, you know, if you can do something, you can hold a harmony, or you can, you know, play the keys, you know, you can play the drums or something, you know. Like everybody else in my family is kind of multi-instrumentalist, but I'm the only one that kind of like really took my one instrument and kind of took it very seriously.
That's legit, though, man. So you've been playing saxophone since 5th grade, or what?
Yeah.
Pretty much?
Since then.
And you celebrate your 29th birthday today?
Yup.
24 years experience, man?
Yeah.
Dude, I imagine that's definitely mastery of it, bro. It has to be.
Yeah, and I just graduated with my master's from
That's
Central.
awesome, man.
Whoop, whoop.
That's congratulations.
You know,
man.
so
Hell yeah.
I don't know, you know, the sky's the limit at this
Bro,
point.
it is, man.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. And so, Donovan, I'm curious, man. Since I've known you, you've always been a percussionist, man. So how did that come about?
Man, I don't know, man. Everybody says I was always tapping on things.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
ADD or what?
a little bit, you know, like just like, you know, it's just I was always hearing things.
Okay.
I think that's what it came down to. It's just like right now I'm hearing things right now. Talking to you during this interview. Like, you guys,
I'm hearing things too.
you guys been talking, and I've just been over here like, bones.
Hey. Understand, bro. That's some deep shit, bro.
It's pretty deep,
So when did you? Let me ask you this thing. When did you get your first percussion set?
bro. You remember? You probably don't remember, but
Was that back
this
in
guy,
Richmond?
yeah. So when we first moved to Richmond, bro, '98.
Real quick, what brought your family to Richmond? Why did y'all go from Cali to Richmond? Do you know?
I think the economy.
Okay.
You know
got
what
too
I'm saying?
expensive to live in Cali?
Yeah, you know, it's a
Okay.
different economy. So my mom had a best friend. She was like, hey, blah, 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 you know, little birdie in the ear type vibe.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, my parents are like, we're going to Virginia,
That's a ways away, bro.
right? So
Any family out here, like when you came out?
when we came out to Virginia, we only knew Vanessa Brown
Okay,
and
so
Blair
no
Brown.
Family. Wow.
Yeah,
man.
no family.
And so both your parents are from Cali, right?
Yeah, Cali raised, bro.
Okay.
You know, so, you know, that happened. They moved. Three months later, we moved with Grams.
So your parents moved before you?
Yeah.
Uh,
You know, settle in and stuff. And then like we had an apartment, and then we had a house. When we got the house, bro, you know, we 9310
was that
Northland Road.
so,
Yeah. So we had that place, bro. And at the time, bro, we were like we extended out arms to a lot of our family friends, you know, so they would come through, and my auntie Nikki came through, and her son Malik came through.
Oh, bro, I remember Malik.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
You remember?
Malik in a minute, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I remember him.
So he had a drum set,
Oh.
and I stole it from him.
How do you steal a drum set? I'm very curious. Like one piece at a time? Like, what do you
I was just like, you know, Auntie Nick actually came up to me and was like, you know, Don, I think you should have this. Actually, it didn't really go like that. It was just more so like,
punch him in the mouth? Like, give me your shit?
I think they just gave it to me, bro.
Okay.
You know, it was his drum set, and maybe I asked about it. I
It's
don't
pretty
know.
dope.
I have no idea. I don't
Good things
remember.
work out, man.
I mean, next thing you know, I had the drum set. It was like boom, right in front of me, and like, you know, I beat
Started
it up.
shedding on it.
Dude, I remember, bro.
I beat that
I
thing.
would come over, man. Like, once you started drumming, bro, it was a rap. I couldn't listen to you for the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro. You were like locked in the
Oh,
zone, bro.
a new perspective
it
emerges.
is different.
It is, man.
That's an
I
outside
remember-
perspective.
Yeah, bro. You would start drumming, bro, and it was like, you done for the day.
No more basketball.
No more nothing else, bro.
No more
No
nothing.
more skating.
bro.
No, you know, I
You
was
used to skate
skating.
with him?
I did not skate. I mean, yeah, bro. Yeah, skater, drummer. I don't know how your parents put up with that, bro. Seriously, your parents loved you, bro, because you used to bang on them things, bro.
That is real, yo.
Probably sounded
you
bad.
have to give shout outs to the parents because
Yeah,
the
bro.
parents, though, the parents put
Let,
up.
yeah, let me do
I
that
remember a
real
lot
quick.
of times
Yeah.
my dad just like coming in there. All right, calm down. You got, you know, like I remember even one time my dad came in to help me out.
What'd he
at
say,
least to
bro?
make
This-
the,
what'd he
the
say?
practice bearable. You know, he was like, you got to make it sound sweet. You're not making it. It's not sounding sweet at all. You know, you got to play it like you mean it. Like it, you know. I remember it got real serious in there that room that night. And ever since then, I played with a vibrato. I try to play with the sweetness. You know, I try to make it sound good, not just like I was in a high school band. But yeah, the parents deserve a lot of respect
They
and
do.
love because
They
they
really
put up
do.
a lot. If you got a child that is a musician, like
Yes.
nurture that joint, like nurture it.
Yeah.
It will grow, but I mean, it's gonna be a process. Trust
It'll
me.
grow at its own time for sure.
It's gonna be some times you're gonna be trying to take a nap on a Sunday, and they're gonna be in there going in.
Yeah.
You might have to set up some rules and regulations,
Okay.
but just let them do it. You know.
It's so interesting, bro. I don't remember them ever telling me like to stop or I couldn't play at any time of the night. You know, we always had a house. And then, you know, remember Wentz used to jam with us.
Bro, definitely. Your
With
dad
the
played
bass, right.
And then Libby played the guitar.
Yeah, we
Your
used to have
sister.
like a
little
little family
Who
trio.
was it? Donovan and the Cheathams? Or what?
I think it was just more so like the living room.
The living room, okay.
The living
You know,
room.
or
That's
the
That's
upstairs.
a cool band name. I like that.
You know,
the-
they got the tiny.
the upstairs living room.
Dude,
You
oh
got the
man,
living
you
room?
onto something.
Yeah, it was fun, bro. You know, like
Dude.
my dad was really excited, bro. I don't know what it was. Like he was very enthused.
What was Michael Jackson's dad name?
Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson. I think your dad was kind of like Joe Jackson.
I don't think so.
No?
Nah.
Joe Jackson was a hard.
He wasn't like beating our asses and shit. You know, he was just more so like he was excited, bro. He was like, yeah, let's play, you know. And he couldn't really play much. I remember.
Okay.
You know, he was like, but he would, you know, we could play some things. Yeah, you know, like, and we would put on performances for our guests,
man.
bro. It was crazy.
It was cool,
fun.
bro. And Livia was really actually good at the guitar, bro.
She was alright.
I thought she was really good, bro.
Shout out to Liv. Shout out to my
Bro.
sister.
Oh, Sister Livia.
She's awesome. She's like a
Spanish teacher, right? now?
educator.
Educated. Doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
I want to ask you both, man. I'm very interested to hear, man. Tell me about, you know, your beginner stage in your respective instruments, man.
Oh wow. That's a
Beginner
whole-
stage in my perspective
That's a
instrument.
whole man. My beginner
like we
stage
just talked
lasted
about
for
that.
years.
Okay.
Your beginner stage, would you think you doing something, man? Like, you know, in high school,
Ooh.
like, you think you know, just because you might be like the best in your high school at the time, you know what I'm saying? You get to college and you with a bunch of people who were the best in their high school, you know what I'm saying? So I was in my craft, I was at the beginning stages, I feel like, for a very long time, you know, before it's finally, certain things finally started to click for me in my instrument, you know, and it actually starting to come out differently in my playing. So yeah, that's real shit. So I could talk all day about that, but
Okay.
you know, I'm just be real light, be real surface level on
No,
that.
that's straight, but I'm
But yeah,
curious,
you got to
man.
work hard. That's the thing.
Okay.
You got to be dedicated. You got to work hard. You know, there's no time because there's always somebody out there who's shedding while you're not, or like doing something to better themselves while you're not.
That's in
you know?
anything,
So
though, right?
with anything you do, so just work hard and don't get discouraged when you can't do something. Just keep trying to do it, because eventually you will be able to do it, you know. And that's just like with anything. Right. But music, it holds true, and that's why a lot of people, you know, talk about how they was a musician when they was a kid, you know, versus now in the present time. Like,
wow. I've heard that a lot.
Because, you know,
I never thought about
those people who walk up to me who are like, I used to play, you know, you got done with the show or whatever. They're like, I used to play back when I was so-and-so, or back when I was 13, and, you know, I used to do this and that. And it's like, but, you know, you got to stick with that. Right. If it was really a passion, you'll stick with it and see it through no matter what happens, no matter who tells you what, or no matter how long it takes you to be able to play a certain type of thing, certain type of style. You know, but you're not gonna give up, you know, and that's real. You know, being a musician, I feel like will teach you that, especially if you're serious about it and you really want to go far in it. You know? I feel like it's a very humbling thing to do. You know, it's become a musician and start on that journey. You know.
Well, why do you say humbling? Because it's not instant success.
Because it's not instant success. Yeah, that's one of the number one things. It's not instant success in anything
misunderstood.
Related to music. Like you think just because you practice for a few hours one night and then you maybe took a few nights off, you think that you're doing something, or you think that since you spend a little time here. No, if you're not devoting time every single day, or like doing something every day to better that aspect of your life,
I understand that.
Then you're not taking it seriously, because there's somebody out there who is, and they setting the bar high, very high, you know. And it's not like you gotta work to be them, but they're working to be the best them, and you could be working to be the best you too in what you do, you know, and have to offer. So it's just real serious, you know, and it's just like the music doesn't have any feelings.
Okay,
know? As far as like if you can't make something sound good, it's not gonna sound good.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
And it's nobody that can. It's not gonna lie to you. Nobody's gonna say, you know. It's church people would do that. Church people would do that. They'll tell you it sounds great, but when you get into the real world and you want to be a serious musician or just serious, that's how it is, you know.
I think it's I want to hear about you, Donovan, but I think I understand from both y'all, because this is how y'all make your money, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is how.
Right?
Yeah. This is my life. Our life.
You're living, right? So you gotta take it serious, man.
Yeah.
Right? To have acid, you know, so you might not eat.
Exactly.
Literally.
It literally comes down to that, or you might not get called back.
Yeah.
And so tell me, Donovan, you know, tell me about your beginner stage, man.
Man, so you know, I was drawing, you know, at one point, and I thought, you know, I was playing drums too. This is after I got the drum set. You know, I'm in this like that time where you like Dragon Ball Z, and you know you like to draw it, and you might like to draw this stuff, and I was really into that. You know, my dad's a graphic designer, blah blah blah, and you know, coming from 5th grade to 6th grade, middle school, you get to choose the electives.
Right.
Art,
Spanish and band,
Spanish,
right?
band,
Right.
culinary skills, trapping, you know.
Trapping.
You know, like woodworks.
Okay.
You know, cafeteria ladies. You know,
Yeah.
These were electives.
janitorial staff. You know,
These were electives.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Sure enough.
Brooklyn Middle School.
Hey, bro. They told me English and
Brooklyn concentration camp. Anyways.
Bro, they kept you there from 7 to 7, bro.
Bro, it was the worst. But anyways, you know, for some reason, you go to that from 5th grade. So, you know.
So yeah, you chose band out of all those.
Yo, so I was like drawing DBZ, you know, really wanted to do that, and I was like, man, I was like, yo, I can get into it. You know, I want to do art.
Okay.
You know, my mom's like, Don, you know you always tapping on shit. You know, you want to get into, you know, you're going to want to do band. And I was like, yeah, I know. And she was like, you know, and I was like, man, you know, I was like, no. I was like, I don't want to do that. You know, fought with that for a second.
Okay.
Ended up doing band, bro. Chose the drums. You know what I'm saying?
No, real quick. You chose the drums. Did you have to like fight over drums? Was everyone?
A lot of people wanted to do drums, but
yeah. So how did that work out? How did they pick?
I think when you have to do percussion, I think you have to do like some type of screening process.
That's what I remember. Yeah. They brought everyone who wanted to do drums in the back, and you had to like.
Yeah, we had to like battle it out.
What's that drum with Dick Cannon?
Drumline.
You had like drumline for,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I remember that.
It was pretty intense, kind of.
Okay.
Yo, y'all used to
I just
battle,
remember
bro?
going because he did. We had to go back into
I
the
remember.
closet where the stuff, and that's where the
He locked the door, said no one come in here.
yeah, and it was just like inside. I don't even know, bro. It just got fuzzy, and then 2 weeks later, bro, I'm in the back on the
On the drums, you won.
on the marimba.
On the marimba.
Yeah.
Explain to me the marimba. What is that?
So when you get into maybe where you play scales, it's like
The piano.
percussion piano.
So no, okay,
Yeah.
I remember that. Okay, and
Yeah,
you used
so-
to play that. You did used to play that.
I had to get into it, and you know what I'm saying? So those were my early stages of getting into music, getting into band. And there was a two split. It was like marimba and snare drum and battery. And it was like, it was like
With the big joint.
battery is just anything you hit, like drums, bass drum,
Okay.
and then there's auxiliary percussion like the triangle.
Okay, and so you strictly on a ding, 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 ding. That's all you do all day.
I mean, it depends, bro. It depends. The music sometimes has the parts on it, and it's one person playing a lot of things, usually in an auxiliary setting. Yeah.
Okay.
But, I was kind of like sticking to the rhythmic stuff, the battery more stuff, the bass drum and the snare drum, because, I was like not really trying to fuck with the marimba at the time, bro.
Okay,
It's
I
like
understand.
always a nemesis.
You told me.
It's been a
I remember that. You
It
said
was
you
a
had
nemesis. It was a nemesis all the way up until my senior recital in college.
difficulties. You told me, but I remember this, man.
Yeah.
I would come over and you would be so frustrated with it.
Oh, what?
I remember this, bro.
You remember middle school?
I was part of my life. I definitely remember middle school.
Oh man.
Yo, he was there, man. He knows.
Yeah, bro, it's a struggle, bro. So that's the beginnings of, me getting into like the music, like, band, you finding out what instrument. Like I already was like into the drums, but it was just like, now you into percussion, this whole percussion. And it's like, which,
Percussion is more than just like, I guess, that set, right? It's a lot of things too.
yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the beginnings.
Okay, man. I understand that, man.
It's pretty intense, bro.
It sounds like it, bro.
It's like, bro, you get at this crossroads and it's like, am I about this?
Okay, right.
It's like multiple levels. There's
So you gotta
levels.
put the work in, right?
You gotta put
You
the
get in there and they reading music in the band room and stuff.
Reading music.
They starting to
Reading notation.
Cats starting to know what I ain't trying to, but you got the white kids in there. They real hip with the they real hip with the theory and stuff. They like, yeah, man.
They're just really good with
They're
like,
just real good at.
yeah, they had,
You saying Caucasians or what?
nah, just people like that were more like,
Who are serious about it?
they were probably
Very
more serious
serious.
than we were at the time.
They
but
were
honestly,
more serious than we.
Okay.
That's what it came down to.
I'm in there trying to just play my part by ear. Just
Yep.
zip it, like just trying to hang with what they doing, not really hearing it. But then I remember I had to break down because my teacher would always break me down.
What you mean by that? You criticize or
No, not necessarily break me down, but just be like, all right, now you don't know how to read this certain part. You can't get through by hearing your way all the time. You got to eventually
Wow.
learn how to read the music.
Okay.
So I got serious and I learned how to read music before I got out of graduated high school. I was a decent reader.
Okay.
So
I'm curious, man. Let me ask y'all both this, man. I guess throughout your whole musical career, man, how has the competition of your fellow player, how does that work? Is being a musician a competitive thing, kind of like a sport?
I think it is. I think it doesn't. It shouldn't be, but I think it is. I think at this point, I think the music community should be working together, as far as certain things like just raising the expectation of our pay.
Okay.
In general, and just raising the expectation as far as what we expect as musicians from people who hire us, or just our treatment in society. I feel like that's at a real crossroads right now, where a lot of people are having to like work for themselves and work out their own situations. And at the same time, you got a lot of disparities going on as far as, compensation. So it's just, it's tough, and it's hard to get people to work together when everybody's, trying to do their thing, and to get their own thing off the ground.
Especially like,
create
it's your
something.
paycheck, it's your job, right?
Yeah, when you got jobs that
man.
during the day where you're trying to keep things moving, you know.
Right.
So it's just, it could be kind of tough to like, do things in the, get musicians on one accord and get moving on things. But it is, I feel like it is a little competitive if you want to like be out here working, if you want to be a working musician, you know. And I think that's just the nature of it, especially in these like. I've never, you know, I don't have a whole lot of experience up in a big city like New York, or but you know, I feel like I feel like that's a big jungle up there, you know, a lot of competition up there, you know, a lot of people scrapping for those gigs, you know. So, you know, it's kind of tough, you know.
Bro. I understand that, man. Anything on that, Donovan?
I mean, yeah, bro, you know, like you were talking about competition, you know. Like, I don't know, bro, like I find myself, you know, constantly working all the time, you know. Luckily, somehow.
Sounds like a blessing, though, right, or what?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. But however, you know, I play drums, and you know, drums, you know, there are drummers out here who are just really, really good on the instrument. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, maybe they might not work as much. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's because, you know, maybe they haven't really like, you know, expanded that whole capacity of what it takes to be a constant working musician, you know.
Okay.
You
So
know,
you saying it might be a hobby for them or what?
No, I just think, you know, they're probably missing that skill.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying really, bro, like it's a package that it takes to set yourself apart, you know, so you're not really competing, you know.
Let me ask you this, man. For somebody out there somebody out there who may be, you know, an inspiring percussionist or, you know, drummer band.
Yeah. Drummer band, man.
Yeah, something like that. You know, they want to go all the way in, man. What are you saying? Like, what does it take for them to become a full-time percussionist?
You know, it's very general, bro. It's like, you know, you want to be able to interpret the music. You know, they put something in front of your face. You want to be able to read it. You want to be able to do that. That's very important because a lot of people sleep on that. You know, I feel like, yeah, like reading the music, you know what I'm saying? You want to be on time, bro.
And what you mean by that, on like as a formal, like a punctual, on time to the job or on time with the music?
Punctual.
Okay, right.
Yeah. You want to be on time. You want to be early. You know what I'm saying? You're a percussionist. You're going to be setting stuff up. You have to plan, you know, and it's just very important, like to make that, to be professional and make that very good first impression.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what separates you from other people to where you're not competing with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Setting yourself apart, though. I understand that, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to ask y'all both, man. You know, so you know, you both are doing band all throughout middle school and high school, man. You know, what happens after you graduate?
After you
what happened?
Yeah, for y'all, what happens after you graduate? You know, do you
graduate high school?
Yeah, exactly.
After you graduate high school, you gotta make a decision
Bro,
whether you really want to do this. Like,
you're speaking like you're asking like still for this person who's inspiring.
No. We're past that.
So what happened?
What happened for you? Both of y'all. What happens? You
Yeah.
high school. Yeah.
Oh,
he
yeah.
says
Yeah, like I had to decide what I was gonna do, like, cause I used to want to be a car designer.
Yeah. That is a thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
So is that an engineer or something? That's
Yeah, I used to
Detailing.
want to be a.
Like
I used to
detailing.
want to be a car designer, whatever you would call it, engineer,
Not
whatever
detailing.
you would call them. But I remember I had aspirations to like go to Detroit. Like this is like my senior year in high
What
school.
year did you graduate, man?
2008.
Okay.
I graduated from high school.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember I had these aspirations to be a car designer, along with my homeboy Steven. Shout out to Steven, my dude from Charlotte.
Shout out to Steven.
Yeah, we used to be in art class and drawing cars. I used to draw cars a lot. That used to be like one of my number one things to draw.
Cool, man.
This dude has a portfolio of that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I got a whole but you know, and so I had art classes and.
I'm sorry, but real quick. So yeah, you all are seeing artwork by Collin.
Oh yeah, I'm also a fine artist.
Dude, these are
Painter,
very
I painted
cool,
all this stuff over here.
So I'm not here, bro. Can you tell me who these people are? Some of them are actual people.
That's just a random person.
Random joint.
You know, this is Nina Simone here,
Showing
the
up.
great Nina Simone, vocalist, pianist. You know, of the jazz idiom, and
From North Carolina.
she's from North Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't know that,
So that's
bro.
super dope. Yeah, she's just here existing.
Okay.
Being.
Who's this behind me, man?
This behind you here, this is Cannonball Adderley. He's also the late Cannonball Adderley. You know, he's a saxophonist,
Okay.
one of the greatest saxophonists to ever do it.
Inspiration for you.
Yeah, just inspirational people.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
jazz
pretty sure
artists.
this was in the shot too. Who
Oh
is
yeah,
this?
this is Thelonious Monk here.
Okay,
Ooh.
sure
Yeah.
enough.
Shout out to
Yeah,
High.
just to make sure. Hold on.
Rocky
I
Mountain.
don't know if it's totally in the shot yet. Hold on. Let me see if I can grab it. just put it in here real quick, you know.
Yeah, just
Oh, yeah.
That's fresh, man.
This is the
That's really nice, bro.
Thelonious Monk. He from North Carolina too. I'm pretty sure people know about him.
I know the name definitely.
Yeah, let me put
Thelonious Monk.
him back here though. But yeah,
And yeah, seriously, man, these are some very nice pieces, bro. Seriously, man.
I appreciate it. I've just my girlfriend actually a couple years ago bought me a canvas to get back into it because once I left high school, I was like not into it anymore. You know,
You lost a love of drawing or art.
well, it wasn't like I wasn't into it, but it was just like I was with the music, so I had to like
Okay.
put all that on
Right.
hold, and you know I didn't get back into it until I graduated from college, and she got me that art set, and I just started back.
Shout out to your girl.
Yeah, shout out to my girlfriend Rashonda. You know, I love you,
wish was here
babe.
right now, but yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
So you graduate high school, man, and you say, so do you decide to go all in on music or what?
Yeah, I did. I was like, man, I can't. I felt like I didn't have the money to go to be a car designer or like go to a college.
Is that a trade school? I'm curious. Is that just a regular university?
They got like schools in Detroit where you can, go and study engineering and hopefully, because that's kind of that hub area where that happens.
Motor City?
So then I kind of wanted to do that, and I don't know, man. The tuition was too high at them schools, and I already had some friends that went to Central, and they was talking up the music program there. So I was like, man, I'm gonna just go do music, man, because I know I'm gonna be doing that anyway, no matter what I do. Like I already knew that about music, that I was gonna be doing it. So it was like I went to school for it, and that's just how that went. And once I started doing that, it's like once I make a decision about something, I just like follow through with it, no matter like where it takes me. It's just like I just go with it. Like I'm doing it, I guess. That's what I'm doing. So
you went to North Carolina, or Central, North Carolina Central?
yeah, North Carolina
That's
Central.
an HBCU, or am I
Yeah, that's
mistaken?
HBCU.
Okay.
Yeah, the best one too.
Best one?
So that's where I went. They got one of the greatest jazz departments, on this side of the country.
That's awesome, man.
Where, it's just like a really great program to go and learn how.
I mean, they
to,
just got good product out of the program.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it really comes down to.
The output, like the
Yeah.
students
The
who come out,
output who come out of the program.
they're good.
They're very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm not mistaken.
the
you went to
program
North-
works, and well, it works if you let it work for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you went to Central. You went to
Shout out to Central.
You went to Central
NCCU
Donovan,
Jazz
right?
program. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For sure.
And CCU Jazz.
Hey, I'm curious, man. So yeah, you said that was closer to home for you, cheaper as well.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
curious,
cheaper.
Donovan. You why did you pick Central? Because you didn't originally go to Central first, did you?
Yeah, man. What happens when you get out of
What happened
school?
Once you graduated?
What happens once you get out of school? Yeah, right. So, bro, I remember I was like, at this point, man, I had been like listening to certain music, and YouTube came about, and there was this whole phenomenon of watching people that didn't really look like, they weren't so preppy and dressed up. They were just like, they just looked like somebody I know that was performing on a high level.
Really good.
You know what I'm saying? And so I researched them some more, and I was like, oh, you can go to school. I can go to school to learn, to further my drum set expertise. You know what I'm saying? And getting out of school, I started preparing myself for auditions. I remember taking lessons with this guy named Jeff Johnson.
Okay.
He was like down the street from my house, and I used to take lessons with him to prepare myself to audition for schools.
Okay. So you had to audition then to actually get into the program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to get up.
You can't just be anybody.
I mean, you want to, people want to. It's a screening thing.
Sure enough.
You know.
I'm not in that. I'm not in that world, man.
Yeah. But yeah, man. That happened. So I was looking at a couple schools. I was looking at Howard U, because
Hey, Howard.
one of my favorite drummers went there.
Who was that?
This guy named Chris Dave.
He went to Howard.
Yeah, he went to
I
Howard.
remember
So I was.
you really liked him, bro.
Yeah.
You like too much. I'm like, yo, hop off his nuts, bro.
I mean, yo, we're talking about inspiration. You know.
That's right. Yeah. All right.
Inspiration.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? But you know.
Good thing.
It was kind of weird. But anyways, I digress.
That's a good inspiration.
Yeah, bro. It was like, he went to Howard, so I'm like, this dude went to study drums out of school, so I want to study under somebody
Of course.
who's killing. You know what I'm saying? VCU, I was like really trying to go there for some reason, and ended up going to Norfolk State University.
Okay, you did.
Shout out to
Norfolk.
NSU.
Yeah.
NSU.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
where you went first.
Yeah, I went there first, bro.
And
Marching band school, so I really couldn't really get into anything. There were some interest groups. We were like,
It's a marching band school.
yeah, the marching
Okay.
band school.
And so in this North Carolina State, is that an HBCU as well?
NCCU,
And that's a black city,
HBCU,
North Carolina, that's a
NSU, yeah.
All
HBCU too,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So I ended up transferring, bro, and like,
Well, real quick, what made you transfer? You not a fan of Norfolk?
oh yeah, so dude, I don't know what it was, bro. Like I would get emails from Central.
My mom went to Norfolk State University, bro.
Yeah, she
Before
did.
we keep on.
Yeah. Yo, so like I would get these spam emails from Central and it was just like, I don't know, and then I remember calling the school and listening to the thing. But like slightly blued on there.
It
Like,
had like that
it had
ringtone music or whatever.
bro, it
Did
had
it have the spiel about Joey, Branford and Joey on
it
there?
had all that on there, but it had the music of the combo from the school on the
Sounded nice.
Yes, bro, it sounded-
I'm put you on hold.
yeah, I'm gonna put you on hold music.
Yeah.
And it was like combo one and I was like, whoa. I was like, man, this sounds really like, you know, at the time, the most jazz straight ahead stuff I heard was samples. You know,
right.
that was
Hip-hop-
at that
hip-hop
time.
samples, something
Yeah,
like that.
right. So, you know, like, you know, at this time it was just more so like, I was like, man. And then looked it up. My mom was really looking it up, really, bro. Shout out to my mom, bro.
Shout out to the parents, man.
Man, my mom was looking all this shit up, bro, because I was just kind of like really tunnel vision, bro. I was like, VCU. And
Oh, you really wanted it?
yeah, bro. And
Oh.
I auditioned for VCU, and it was cool. Something happened, bro. I don't really remember, but I ended up. Oh, Central offered me a
Wait,
scholarship.
HBCU, that's where you smacked the grandma, right?
No, man.
Oh, okay, my fault. That's
No.
Well, you smacked the
That's
grandma.
the wrong
What?
guy, bro.
Oh, wrong guy. My fault, bro.
You
My
smacked the
fault.
grandma. What?
My fault, bro. I'm sorry.
Wrong guy,
Forget
bro.
that.
Like,
I'm gonna beat that out. My
gee
fault.
whiz. But anyways,
So Central offered you a scholarship? Is that what you said?
yeah, it ended
That's
up.
awesome, man.
that ended up happening. So
awesome.
honestly, my bad, bro. I'm kind of. It gets fuzzy, bro. Like, but I auditioned for Central coming out of before I went to Norfolk State.
Okay, so out of high school.
Yeah, and
Oh.
I went to meet Dr. Wiggins and stuff. They couldn't get the money for me for out of state.
Okay.
That's what happened. I went to Norfolk State for 2 years and kind of lollygagged there a little bit. Met some cool people, you know, but that wasn't a place that really I could like cultivate my skill.
Norfolk or?
Yeah, NSU, the school.
Okay.
Like, so, you know what I'm saying? Central was like that. I auditioned again 2 years later, bro, after kind of like seeing Dr. Wiggins do some conferences, you know, a little bit. And like, they got it to work out, bro.
Nice.
In 2012, I was in Durham.
Yo, shout out to Dr. Wiggins.
Yo, shout out to
One of
One
Dr.
of the
Wiggins.
greatest department chair or heads.
That's awesome, man.
You know,
Yeah, man.
you can
Yeah, so
you can have.
Okay.
that's what happened.
I'm very curious to hear from both you all, man. You know, first off, tell me about your time at Norfolk State. North Carolina Central.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
North
it'll be
Carolina
good.
Central, as well as what it was like going to a historically black college, man. Tell me about that for both you all.
Okay.
I would say it was very proud for me, because all throughout middle school, elementary school, middle school, and high school, I was, going to school with white kids,
Okay. Suburbs or what? Right?
When I got to high school, it was a little bit more black kids in the situation, but for the most part, I went to school with white kids. So
Okay.
when I got to Central, it was like I was just proud to be there.
So it's straight black, right?
Was proud to experience that lifestyle and make friends there and get that other side of education and just side of life that
Yeah.
I necessarily wouldn't have been exposed to had I gone to another type of school.
Were you on campus or
I was on campus my first year and a half or 2 years, something like that, and then I got an apartment.
Okay.
I think my sophomore or junior year.
Okay.
Can't really remember which one it was.
Okay.
But and I was living off campus and just commuting, and I was cool too. It was I can't complain about my experiences at Central. It was great. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And kids, tell me about the music program. Why shout out to Dr. Wiggins? What made it
Yeah,
so special
shout out
for
to
you?
Dr. Wiggins because Dr. Wiggins just works hard to hold that music program down and hold it together and just keep it going and keep it vibrant and working, and he does a great job with it,
just a product,
because it's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot that he deals with, just being in charge of, a great jazz department. And one of the last jazz departments in the country, like black jazz departments,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's only like two or three of us, like two or three schools. Howard got one,
Yeah.
But
Central.
yeah, Central is one of the last places where you can go get taught jazz by black people.
Okay, man.
You know,
Yeah.
which is where it comes from. And so it's just super important, and that's why I shout out Doc, because he's keeping it, he's staying true to what the mission of that department is and what they're about, and he knows how to get people to, you know, everybody to work together on that same
awesome,
page,
man.
you know, and it's a community, you know, it's great.
That's awesome, man. I'm curious, man. Tell me about your time at Central, man.
Yo, at Central, all right, we at Central now. So 2012, I get here, bro, and like, you know what I'm saying? I got placed in all the top groups, man, and it was just kind of like I was being exposed to like the program's best like group as far as like the music.
I get you.
You know, and the top jazz band and top combo, and bro, I got there, bro, and like, you know, I could always play drums, but like, bro, I got there, bro, and people were playing music on a high level. Like, you know, they were beyond their instrument. They were more so like playing music with each other in a collective environment, you know, like collective situation. So I didn't really know how to do that, bro. So it was like a lot of humbling experiences that I had to go through, you know, like getting set off the drums, you know, being like.
So that's what they say, hey, man. You step off.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Literally.
Or no,
Step off, man.
What is this drummer?
Hot Shot.
Is that, no,
Hot Rod?
Maybe. No. It's just about this white boy drummer. Have you seen it?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what yeah.
Okay. All right, but
It's pretty cool
Yeah,
movie.
what is it? What is it?
I forgot what it's called.
I forgot too.
The Hot Fuzz or something like that. I can't remember what it's called.
But he got set off, I think.
Yeah.
He's like,
I remember seeing that. That was real industrialized. you
Yeah, it
know
was
what I'm
very
saying?
industrialized, but it
It was
was
very
kind of
industrialized, but the pressure kind of be like
yeah.
that.
The
though.
pressure,
Hey.
yeah, they kind
I
of hit
can
on
relate
that.
to it, honestly.
That's when we got to a car accident at the end.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it got to be a lot at the end, but
Yeah,
I
okay,
could
it's
relate
not
as a
off track.
musician. I could definitely relate to the
Okay.
stuff he was
Yeah.
going through.
Okay. So so it was like, hey man, you're not cutting it. You need to step off.
I mean, more so like, yeah, or like, stop the music. Can we get such and such on the drums? And then like
how
you
does
get,
how does that affect you, man?
yo, so,
It's like a big ego blow, right? Like, damn.
well, you just want to be egoless in general, you know?
Okay.
You don't wanna really-
That's
The music ain't got
easy
no
to
feelings,
say.
man. That's what I'm
Easy
saying.
to say, hard to do, right?
Yeah, music has no feelings. It's objective, not subjective.
Okay.
So whenever it's not working, it is your fault, but it's like maybe like it's just somebody else can do it better.
And so let me ask you this real quick. They have people on the sidelines just waiting to jump in, like vultures on the
There are
side.
people waiting, bro. I have little kids at my church waiting to take my spot at my church, bro. Bro, no, like, bro, I get off the drums at church and little kids are like waiting at the drums. I'm like,
Hey.
bang, last song, and then I get off and I'm like, don't even get off they're ready. But that's at church. That's in the real world.
In the real world, it's like
That's
that.
in the real
Somebody
world.
gonna be ready to take you down.
know what I'm saying?
Somebody
Like-
always ready to take you
Shoot for
down.
your
But
spot,
anyways, at Central, bro, it was always the faculty did a good job of, you know, distilling that, you know, there's always somebody else who can do it. You know what I'm saying? And like for the drums, bro, or any rhythm section instrument, the expectation is there's a standard that people or around here, the people in this community, bro, in this music community, they expect.
The high expectations for the music instrument.
I mean, it needs to feel good and it just needs to sound good.
Okay.
It needs to sound good. It needs to feel good, and people need to have good tempo. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, so those things, you know, were
Yeah,
my
those things
first.
get you kicked off a gig.
Yeah.
Drummer with no tempo. Man, I was on a gig the other day with a drummer with no tempo. Man,
And so, wait, explain to me what you mean by no tempo though.
no
Like,
tempo, missing hits, dropping beats, you slowing down the song. Say we had it and we trying to hit. We trying to boom, shaka-doom, boom, cat, doom, cat, and drum
Spow.
bands. Cat, doom, cat,
Okay.
doom, cat.
And then like,
And you know, everybody else still high energy doing so they up there like this, and they like, you know, when you got the vocalist turning around to you, like,
Yeah.
come on, you know.
So wait, let me ask you this though, man. You know, as an outsider looking in, who sets the tempo? Is it not the drummer?
It's the drummer. I
It's
feel
the
like it's the
drummer.
drummer,
So-
but
so-
everybody
so-
is responsible for the time, but it's the drummer who keeps that.
So is he
keeps it
saying?
alive.
Is he saying, yo, y'all need to slow down?
And I feel like it's the bass too. The drummer and the
No,
bass.
it's-
That
I
you
mean,
know.
like, dude, like the drummer, like I'm a drummer, bro, and I find myself being the unspoken MD, the unspoken music director
Oh, okay. I
in a
understand
musical
that. Yeah.
situation.
Everyone connects to the drums first, or I connect to the drums first.
I mean, you know, like, so, but there are people who hire you, so it's just about, like, the situation, bro.
Okay.
There's levels to everything.
I believe you.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
So, It's about that, bro. It's about like now we in a group. Well, now we talk about the real world. Who's we talking about the
Talking
real
about-
world? It's whoever's higher uses the tempo, bro.
Okay.
And like
so that's not an elite. Then if it's the saxophonist or the pianist, you follow
yeah,
the
usually
lead.
you know, or like it's a understanding of like yo. And if you don't have that understanding, you probably shouldn't be on the gig. And if you're on the gig, the shit is pickup. It's like a pickup gig. You know, whether it's like, it was, you know, pickup gig probably,
You
right?
sitting in or something. What you
Nah, like it was just like a gig that was scheduled, no rehearsal.
Yeah,
Y'all-
it's like one of those kind
so
of
the
things.
Yeah.
last minute or something.
But it's
Not
like
last minute, but just no rehearsal.
it's
So
just
this
no
is work.
rehearsal.
It's like
It's
work,
certain
you know?
things that you just play on gigs where it's like, you know, it's just very general. Like most people are gonna know how to play this. Most musicians are gonna know how to play this.
Like general coding.
I think I get you.
You know, people who know like general coding or
I get you.
general, you know, audio,
I'm
you know,
gonna
stuff.
say like it's kind of like maybe a track list that
It's like
everyone knows.
it's like a general
Yeah.
repertoire out there that
Yeah.
people generally know,
So,
and
like-
they can make it
like
through a
Happy
gig.
Birthday, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, stuff like that,
okay.
but a little bit more, you know, musician like, you know, people friendly, you know, that people can like vibe through.
Okay.
You know, like the Music Soul Child joint we was talking about the
Shut
other
up.
night. Yeah,
Okay,
Remember you
and
heard
told me
that?
that. You
Remember
told
you
me
heard that?
one Friends.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
friends.
That you said that's
Yeah.
a popular one.
yeah, it's
Everyone-
popular.
Very
Everyone,
popular.
everyone
Okay.
calls it. You know,
Okay.
You go to any open mic, some vocalists
Somebody
is
gonna
calling
sing
that.
that.
Somebody wants to sing it. You know, so
My dad knows that song. He loves that.
yeah.
I grew up on that.
So
I
you know, Central equipped us. You know, I wish I could go back and get some more equipment and more armor, but they definitely equipped us to be in these situations
Okay.
where it's like, you know, it's kind of like a pickup game of basketball, bro. You know,
And so meaning you don't get to pick your teammates. You just
yeah, you
jobs you don't get to pick your
Somebody
teammates
just
unless it's
called you.
your job,
Okay.
unless you're hiring.
Somebody
people.
just called you like, I need you to come play sax tonight.
Shut
Or I
up.
need you to come play drums tonight. Like at this
It's
thing.
freelance work. That's a
So
lot of
it's-
stuff
that's
that I do.
freelance, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
that's
Yeah,
a lot of stuff
okay.
that I do. Yeah.
okay.
So, you know, it's like you get in the real world, bro, and you're always gonna be with people. It's not like always, bro, but like there's gonna be times where you get on gigs with people you feel like you shouldn't be on gigs with,
Okay, meaning like you feel like they're not up to your level, up to the level that's required.
or they're just not doing the job right. They're
Okay.
dragging on the drums.
Yeah.
And so and that
They don't
happens.
know the song.
It
makes
happens.
Everyone looks bad.
It
huh?
happens, you know.
Sounds
People-
bad.
It makes everything sound bad, right?
Yeah.
And
Sounds
that
bad.
looks bad for you as an individual.
Sometimes it
bad.
doesn't look bad to a lot of people.
Then you have to go back home and readdress and reevaluate what you're doing on that gig yourself. You know, if you value yourself at
yeah,
a
if you do
certain
value,
level,
yeah.
you know, it just makes you think about certain things.
Makes you reflect, bro.
It
like-
makes you reflect, right? You know, but you just want to be aware of it. You know, it's okay to help people. I help people on gigs. You know, I help my friends who may not have like money to a whole lot of money to give me for my services that I feel like I'm really
Yeah,
worth. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll go and do gigs for people sometimes. But for the general, you want to definitely assess what you're doing before
Yeah.
you book gigs and even after.
So
you've
that would
done the
filter
gig.
out a lot of stuff too. Like, you know, some cats, you know, are at a certain level, right? Because there's levels to everything.
There's levels,
There's levels to this, right?
I believe it.
You know, like certain cats are at a level to where they're not worried about getting booked. People are calling them to play festivals.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like festivals
They
that
have
are,
such a name. Such
yeah,
a
they have
recognition,
like a
prestige.
name, yeah. And you know,
Yeah, but
they have
presence.
a resume.
Yeah.
Right,
They
right,
play
right.
with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? There's certain people on the local scene who don't take certain gigs, that don't pay a certain
Shut
amount.
up, man. I
you know?
understand. It's not worth their time.
It's not worth their time. You know what I'm saying? And you know, there's levels to it, bro.
I believe it, bro.
And so, you know, I'm just trying to get to that level where, you know what I'm saying, I'm making music and people are booking me for my music.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Let me ask you both this, man. You know, I guess what does it take to get to that top level? Is it just the long haul, staying with it, or like what?
It's really staying dedicated.
I mean,
And
unless you
making
got-
Is it
steps
more than
every
that?
day.
Is it just that
It's making
dedicated?
steps every day. You know, going
Yeah.
out to doing this, taking the steps that you need to do. To
Being
make it to
present
where
on
you're
the
trying to go.
scene, bro.
Being present on the
Yeah,
scene.
you know, like,
Talking to people, showing up for gigs, being on time for your gigs, bringing the equipment for your gigs, acting right on the gigs.
Okay.
Just doing right by people. I say that the music is, from my experiences, a lot of the stuff musicians go through is as a result of lack of character or just lack of
Awareness, bro.
Awareness, and just like be aware and then just treat people right and practice.
So it is part I guess it's part talent as well as part like networking, interpersonal.
I mean, you have to work. You have to practice. You know, like
You gotta practice.
you have to put in a certain amount of hours. So you know, have you heard of the 10,000 hour rule?
That's become a master, right?
That's to become a master. You know, you said he was a master earlier.
Bro, 24 years, right?
24 years. I don't know if I reached
But-
10,000.
Or fifth grade. I don't know how old we in fifth grade. I don't even know. Maybe
That doesn't even matter, bro.
Okay,
it's
fair
like
enough, alright.
putting in 10,000 hours of practicing.
Fair enough, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like that's, and like that's like, you are you documenting that? No, it's more so like
It comes out in your playing.
it comes out in your
Okay.
playing. It comes out in the product.
Yeah.
That's what
Right.
I keep saying. Product. Dr. Wiggins has, the program has really good product. The people who understand the concept of what it takes to be all around great musician, just like practicing, showing up on time, practicing. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to read music
It's important.
is very important.
Studying the music for
Yeah.
the gig that you're about to play.
Studying the music for
Knowing
the
the
gig.
music that you're
Yeah.
about to play at the.
Right. So just being prepared though.
You know, there's a lot of musicians who have a big head who feel like they don't need to learn the music for the gig that they're about to play.
And there's some people who can do that. I've seen it.
There's some people
There are
who
people who don't even do these things that we're talking about.
You're still successful.
Not really, because they're probably not really serious with being a musician, but they can sit down on an instrument and kill it.
Oh.
They can crush. And
Okay.
like really, you know, they can put things in perspective for some people who are, you know, it's levels, right?
I get it.
You know, so it's like, it really comes down to like how serious you are. Like he said it earlier.
Okay, how bad you want it?
Yeah.
how serious you are about it. you
Yeah,
know?
and like, you know, like
And you got to be smart, you know, especially today. Like a lot of people, you know, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but you just got to be smart, you know, like just don't do anything
you have to
dumb.
practice. Too.
Don't do anything dumb that you know is not going to be beneficial to your career. You
Yeah.
know, just
Yeah. A lot of
anything that
people-
you do, you should be making sure it's beneficial to what you're trying to do and build.
A lot of people try and be like, oh, the gig is an exposure gig or whatever. But there's levels to it, bro, because people do gigs and they don't get paid for it, but they'll pay their band, though. And the band will
Okay.
never know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it's
Not
like,
being selfless.
it's levels to it.
It's how
like,
bad do you want it? you
Yeah,
know?
how bad do you want it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that, you know what I'm saying? That happens. You know, but that person who didn't get paid and is paying their band is doing it the correct way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than
I understand that.
doing it some other way. Who, oh God, right? Who wants to think about that?
Let me ask you both this, man. I want to kind of continue it along, man. So, you know, you both graduated from Central, man.
Yeah.
When did you graduate, Collin?
I graduated this last year. My graduate degree, 2019.
Okay. This
Yeah,
year.
this
Oh,
year.
that's-
Yeah,
okay.
this year.
Okay. And what about you, Donovan?
2017.
Okay, so
Undergrad.
you know you both graduate, man. You know, I guess where are you at currently in your journey, man?
Yeah.
I guess I'm at that stage where I've been building all this stuff for a long time, you know, just doing gigs, right? Just doing gigs and just trying to better myself as an artist and musician. And so now I feel like I'm just at that point where I have a little more time to like just put my stuff all out there and just really go for it and really go after building my brand versus just, you know, kind of doing what I need to live as a musician, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it's exciting. So I'm about to really start getting into it, you know, 'cause I got a lot of music on the way, a lot of beautiful art on the way that I want to show you guys and let you guys listen to.
Is anything for sale?
Yeah, anything, well, hit me up if you like any of the stuff here, you know, or hit me up for commissions. You know, I do commissions as well.
Sure enough.
So, yeah.
Hey, what about you, Don? Where you at currently, man? Your journey.
Currently, I have Love for Sale.
Love for sale?
Love for Sale.
Love. Okay, you're selling love.
Yeah.
Kinda like,
You know, like more so serving my community.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta really.
I mean, so I graduated 2017, right? And all throughout my college career, I was having a lot of trouble with like finishing school because I was always like kind of working already, you know, doing gigs, you know, working with people in the community, you know, doing gigs and stuff. So I barely got out of school. I praise God, you know, I graduated with my undergrad.
You barely got out. Meaning what?
I barely got out, like
Okay.
I barely got out of school, you know, like.
All right, sure.
you know.
Can we speak on that, man?
I mean, yeah, dude, like it was just.
Did you love it enough, or what? Or
I didn't take the academia part seriously.
Academics.
I was so busy applying the things that I didn't even really know. in the real world.
So, mean you too focused on gigs, or what do you mean?
Yeah, it's like too focused on.
I mean, so you're trying to make that money, though, right?
Yeah,
I understand that, man.
literally.
So,
Yeah.
And so yeah, you try to make that money. You prioritize that more so than the grades.
And I got held back a couple years.
Hey.
2017, right? So
You graduated 2010.
high school,
Okay.
7 years.
Everyone has their own path, man. So I understand. You had a couple zigzags, couple probably U-turns.
Zigzags and
But you
raws
made it.
and 1.5s.
We here, bro.
Yeah.
We made it, baby.
Yeah, so I've been out of school for 2 years, and like every year has kind of gotten better as far as like, you know, me being a musician and being able to be stable off of that, you know, financially. You know, so right now, dude, like, you know, I have some gigs that I have under my name. I've had some gigs, but I haven't really focused on like, you know, Donovan Cheatham, like music. But I've been more so like still kind of shaking the money tree.
Okay.
But right now, bro, I'm like getting into this point of like kind of still shaking the money tree a little bit.
Okay.
Doing little things here and there that are music related, like conducting. I
Okay.
conduct a senior citizen big band, you know,
Shout out.
teaching. Yeah, shout out to New Horizons.
So
Yeah.
shout out Duke. That's for Duke, right? Or what?
It's like a Duke sector, but
Okay.
you know,
Right.
yeah.
My fault.
And like, you know, teaching private lessons. I do a lot of that. One-on-one
Okay.
lessons, serving my community. You know, like
Okay.
hanging out, talking about music, and you know, I do a lot of that. And then performing at night and stuff. And like a lot of those gigs are freelance gigs.
Okay.
So within all that, I'm not really working on my artistry. You know, so right now,
Anytime you
I'm
do
trying
it, is
to-
that practicing? Is that not working on it?
you're practicing more on specific things, I would hope. You
okay,
know,
okay.
like that's what I'd be on.
Okay.
Like, you know, I'm not really practicing this song that I've written.
Oh, okay. So are you trying to compose music now? Is that what you're saying? You're trying to get more into?
I think I'm trying to maybe put out something at the end of the year, like a 5-track EP or
The
something.
Donovan Cheatham Quartet, or
Maybe something called something else,
okay,
you know,
Gotcha.
but something that I'm leading,
okay, your
something that
name.
has my name on it.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Okay,
So-
I'm looking forward to that, man.
yeah, man. This guy's helped me. He's co-wrote a couple of the tunes,
Okay,
and so we have that on the way a little bit. Kinda. We've actually recorded one of them. We recorded one of them, and we put a little visual to it. I'm gonna put that out, you know,
Okay.
soon. I don't know when, but
Big things, man.
yeah, man. Just it's really like I'm really kind of really into like serving the community though. I've realized that, bro. Like with the drums and stuff, like I'm able to like help out a lot of people. You know, it's crazy. It's like I'm helping out people more so with the drums than you would think.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
understand.
it helps them in some way.
I see music as kind of like therapy, though, so I definitely understand that.
Yeah, bro, it's pretty interesting. So that's where I'm at now, you know. I have all the time to like shed, which is cool. It's practice
okay.
and work on specific
Perfect your
things, you know.
crafts.
Yeah, learn music for gigs,
Okay.
you know, so people will keep hiring me. You know why? Because you want people to know who you are
Yeah.
in the community. Because if they know who you are, then that one person will tell somebody else somewhere else in a different region your name, you know.
Okay.
You know, so that's how it works. It's more so like you want people to know who you are, and you know, you want to just be working,
I understand.
you know, playing music. Yeah,
I understand that, man.
yeah.
I want to ask you this, man. Kind of like wrap things up, man. You tell me this, man. What are some of your upcoming events, man? What do you have going on?
Well, I'm planning for an art show
Okay.
/ album release party at the same time. I just haven't put together a specific date because I don't have a venue yet. But that's on the horizon. This Friday, I'll be playing at Watson Ward with my group Primary Colors, including Don here on drums.
Oh, wait, so hold on. Say it again. Where at? Where
This,
and when?
it's in Raleigh. It's a place called Watson Ward. It's this nice little drinkery,
Okay.
you know.
This Friday. I
They have,
don't know. What is Friday?
they have really good cocktails.
Sunday's the
there.
11th, so I think that's the 9th.
The 9th.
Yeah, the 9th,
Yeah,
August
Friday
9th.
Okay.
Friday, August 9th, Raleigh, Watson Ward.
Any of the listeners that listen
Primary
to this,
Colors, yeah.
What time, man?
8 to 11,
Okay.
8 p.m. to 11.
Sure enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you down? What's going on in your life, man?
Man, just a lot of have that with Collin. I'm gonna be in Wilmington playing with somebody on Thursday, and like, you know, just like gigs. I think.
Real quick, man. Let me ask you this, man. How can people get in contact with you, man? How can they reach out to you?
Facebook, if you look me up, Collin Williams, Collin Williams. I'm normally the first dude to pop up, but if not, you can reach me on my Instagram at C_WIL Will_YUMS C Williams. Yeah.
When I post it, I'll put your links, bro. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Donovan?
I appreciate it.
Of course.
What are we doing? This is.
How can people get in contact with you? How can they reach out to you?
Yeah. My phone number, if I decide to give it to you, there's Facebook, Donovan Cheatham. Search up Donovan Cheatham. I'm usually the first person that comes up. That's usually how it goes. And Instagram is at _cheat.
CHEAT.
Cheat.
Yeah.
I'll put all the links.
Yeah. And I think that's how you would.
That's where you reach you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, man.
Hey, man, so, I really enjoyed talking to you all, man. I know y'all gonna have to get the word. That's why you had to wrap it up so soon.
Yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, man.
I enjoyed talking to you too, man.
Yeah,
I
bro.
appreciate you doing this.
Of course, man.
Yeah, bro. Shout out to Two Left Feet Podcast, bro.
Yeah, Two Left Feet podcast.
Niggas
To
move
the
like
left.
this.
I guess, yeah.
It's just like that, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, man, say real quick, man, right before we close this out, man, any last words y'all want to say, man? Anything you want to plug? Or?
Man, just stay hungry, stay happy. Well, don't stay hungry as in you're hungry. Stay hungry as in ambitious.
Yeah.
And stay excited about life and keep it positive.
Hey,
You know.
sure enough.
Yeah, man. Keep it positive. Do something that you really are into. Spend your time doing that. Put some energy into that, rather than doing something that you're not into. Because it will benefit you in the long run, and you'll feel better about yourself. You'll want to wake up in the morning. Everybody wants to wake up in the morning. So.
Yeah.
That's really down now. That was powerful.
That was powerful.
You should be,
that was
the
deep.
best speaker,
Deacon Don.
Yeah, bro. Behind the pulpit. With the do-rag on?
Minister Cheatham.
Do-rag Deacon?
You right there.
Do-rag Deacon Don.
Maybe I'll start my own another the podcast.
Oh, man.
Oh,
It would be
God.
called Deacon
Don.
Deacon Don.
Deacon Do-rag Don.
Hey, man, so I think this is a great way to wrap this episode.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro. Peace.
Hey, I think this will do it for this episode of 2P Podcast. Thank you so much.
Much love, much love.